Welcome to another video here on the Giant Take Podcast YouTube channel. A lot of uploads in a little amount of time. 4 uploads in about 2 days. Joe Judge has been fired. Dave Gettleman has retired. And this is a little clip that we did from our John Mara reactions to his press conference that he did today, this afternoon, Wednesday afternoon. So
let's go check out the clip and see our reactions. I won't.
No? Well, all right.
No fun.
All right. Let's get into it. Let's get into this John Mara section, press conference, and just all around fun. Alex, I know you better have those clips ready because we're going to be going to them sooner than later. So first of all, the Giants did not live stream the event because 15 minutes.
They're wimps. They're wimps.
Well, that's the first thing. But to give you a little context, last minute, basically, about like 15, 20 minutes before the press conference even began.
It was like 5 minutes, actually, I believe.
The Giants reached out to WFAN and NFL Network and said, nope, no. You can't live stream it because something might go wrong. Mara might say something bad about our organization. We're going to have to cut that right out. Okay, so not allowed to live stream that. So there's the first thing. Second thing, only allowing each reporter to ask one question. So each reporter, no matter where you're from, Giants related and national, whatever, only one question each. Someone defied those odds, and we'll have a clip about that. And then third, no follow-up questions allowed to some pretty bad answers by Mara. That was from Justin Pennick. So, Justin, we thank you for that, a friend of the show. And let's just start it off nice and easy with Mara's beginning of the press conference. He had a little thing talking about how amazing he is, I guess.
Yeah, he's just a real hero. You know, yesterday we were being nice to him. We were being like, thank you, for making the right decision. Today's a new day. We're going to rip into him. So here we go. And I'll make sure to share my audio this time so no one's just sitting there quietly.
Do it. And
I will start from the beginning here. Hide this because no one wants to see that. All right, here we go.
Good afternoon, everybody. I thought in light of the events that have taken place over the last couple of days that I ought to give you the opportunity to ask some questions. So let's get right into it and get started. Good afternoon, everybody.
Just a real hero. Just a hero, to be honest. I mean, something might have happened, and, maybe as the owner of the team, he probably should make some comments about, possibly the biggest things that have happened over the past 4 years. But, he's doing us a favor, okay? No, this isn't his job. No.
He thought he should probably answer some questions, Alex. What's wrong with that? He probably should. I mean, I don't know.
Probably. But he's just gonna, he's not gonna take more than one question. You think he has all the time in the world?
Exactly. No more than one. If you're gonna say more than one, well, you're gonna get a clapback from Mr. John Mara himself, and he had something to say about, I wish I had this full source, but I think his first name is Bob, and I'm sure we could find it if we looked up his name, search it on the Twitter. But Bob tried to ask a follow-up question, and Mara answered it looked like, but wasn't so happy about it either.
Since 1979.
Okay, that's the way to get 2 questions in there, Bob, in violation.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Since 19.
In violation of the rules. What does he think he is, some sort of dictator?
I mean, how stupid is that? The rule of one question. And I love how good for you, Bob.
In violation of the rules.
Good for Bob, man. I know you love the in violation of the rules part. I love Bob being like, John Mara goes, that's in violation of the rules. And Bob goes, yes, it is. He's like, yeah, he's like, way to get your 2 questions in there. Great job. He's like, yes, it is. Like, Bob doesn't care. Good job for Bob stepping up for himself. I like that. I like that. We also had some stuff coming. So there's a few big things coming out of this, the press conference, right? Not a little press conference. It was big. He was addressing the media.
It was very generous of him to do, so we're very happy about it.
Right. He mentioned how the GM and head coach won't be a package deal, as I think we already knew, though. But anyway, they want to take their time. They want to be extensive in their research, right? They got to cover a lot of different guys, as we know from the 9 GM candidates that they already set up interviews with. 2 of them happening today, and I think 2 of them happening tomorrow. They're hoping, it looks like, to have their GM ready and with this team within the next few weeks. I don't want to give it direct, like it's going to happen in 1 week, but within the next few weeks, it looks like they want to have their GM so they can already go for their coaching search. And what's interesting is that some of them who are on playoff teams, like you mentioned, the Cardinals guys or the Bills, Joe Shane, right? That's a really big front runner for a lot of people. He's on a playoff team with Buffalo. But at this point, as like an assistant general manager that I think he is right now, that's his role with the team. His job is kind of done for the year, right? I mean, if we look to hire him, he's not doing draft prep for the Bills right now. They're in the playoffs. So his role as the assistant general manager is kind of done for this season, whereas he can be hired as the GM while the Bills are still in the playoffs. He might not officially come out until whenever the Bills, like, if they win the Super Bowl, we'll have to see. But whenever their playoff run ends, right, that's when he can officially take the position. But he can definitely agree behind the scenes before the Bills season ends. So just keep that in mind with a lot of these guys who are assistant GMs or have roles that are not really coaching, which I think are all of them. They could very well take the job within the next few weeks.
Yeah, for sure. And they could definitely leave, even during the playoffs, I believe. I don't think they have to stay. Also, while it does seem like they want to do it quickly, Mara also mentioned, back in 2018, they didn't, have a thorough enough process. They want to be thorough. They want to take their time and get the right guy. So, some people are thinking, hey, now that we fired Judge, we're going to, move through this quickly. I don't think that's going to be the case, at least based on what Mara said.
And you got to hope not. You got to hope not, too, because honestly, for the people who are thinking quickly, take a look at the past and see how that went, right? And I want to talk about Joe Judge for a second in a statement that I made yesterday on the podcast. I was in very much excitement, and I went to even say, because Alex like, I wish him the best in the future, and then I went, you know what? I don't wish him the best in the future as a coach in the NFL. I would like to. I'm not going to retract that statement because I did say it, but I think I was a little too harsh. I think Joe Judge deserves some respect. I think it didn't work out. I still do hold anger to his name, though, and I think he was a foolish head coach to go into press conferences game after game after getting blown out or after losing and saying the same thing, fundamentals, we're going to do this, I'm going to call my stupid timeouts. Right there, Right there. We did the 2 QB sneaks in a row right there. We're going to miss that, Alex. That's going to be something that we're going to really miss. It's unfortunate.
Our new coach is still going to have coach talk. Don't worry, but it might not be that. It might not be right there.
No, and I hope he doesn't say the same nonsense over and over again if the Giants do lose a couple games. But hopefully that isn't the case. Anyway, I just wanted to clarify that. And actually, some fans got their messages through to Joe Judge via Facebook, and he responded and he said, wishing the players the best in the future. Alex, I think we both agree, could very well see him going back to the Patriots, reuniting with Bill Belichick and taking over their special teams and wide receivers unit again like he did right before he left.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's probably what he's going to do. Most of these coaches that fail coming out of the Belichick tree end up coming back to him, so I think that's what's going to happen. More John Mara, because we can't get enough of him. He said it won't be a package deal with the GM head coach. They want to take their time and be extensive. Mistake they said they had in the past. I said that already.
I said that already.
I'm reading it again. You said it already. I'm reading it again. Just extra emphasis.
Why
Don't
not?
worry about it. And the GM will lead the search for a head coach, Mara said. In terms of DJ or Saquon or any other player, that will be between the GM and the head coach. No Mara interference.
That's pretty huge news.
Publicly. Let's be honest. Is he really telling the truth? Who probably
He'll
knows?
probably have an input. I mean, he was talking actually in the press conference about like when they, and we'll play the clip later about his like family or like his decisions. There was a whole thing there, and then they were like, if someone went to him and had an actual reason, if the GM and head coach agrees on something, I might question them about it, but I'll overall give them the correct. I'll let them make the decision or whatever. I'll give the okay. The thing is, yes, you might have a little bit of input, Alex, but I think that is a huge statement by Mara, publicly, not publicly, to say that Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, their future lies in whoever we're hiring at the GM position and whoever the GM hires at the head coach position. Huge stuff, because that can mean that we're drafting Malik Willis in the second round of this draft. Like, we had no idea the future of this football team. Saquon Barkley could be traded for a fourth-round pick. Who knows? Those are very hypotheticals. I don't want anyone to take that literally because that's not going to happen. Like 85, 99%, whatever, it's not going to happen. But I'm just giving examples. Like, these things could change dramatically if Mara is staying out of it and letting his GM and letting his future head coach take over that stuff. So let's see what else. What other clips do we got here? We did the one reporter. Oh,
We got Mara being embarrassed. He's very embarrassed, which I guess is good. I don't know. Here, I've got the clip, so we'll just watch him be embarrassed. If
of the
that's
Giants
enjoyable to
organization.
anyone.
Yeah.
Yes, he's very embarrassed. He's very
Hey,
shamed.
John, I'm curious, is this your lowest moment in your association with the Giants? And is this as embarrassed as you've been about the franchise?
Honestly, I would have to say yes.
Mm.
Yes, it is. I kept thinking during the season that we had hit rock bottom, and then each week it got a little worse. So honestly, I'm not proud of saying this, but if I'm going to be 100% honest, I would have to say the answer is yes.
Another big statement made by Mr. Morrow over there. I mean, if he says no, then I mean that's gonna go crazy. But I think the yes answer actually gets less things against him, right? I mean, more people will be with him. Like, okay, finally, you're admitting it. But remember, they're still scared. The Giants as a whole are still nervous. Like, not having that go on, the live stream. Like, they're still being annoying. Like, don't think that Mara saying, oh yeah, this is the most embarrassing moment, that retracts everything that they've done, like, in the past, right? Or even today, to not have WFN live stream it because they're just scared. All right, so just keep that in your mind. So then
Keep it in your mind.
Here's here's a little bit of a few minute clip. I think it's like 3 minutes. This is John Mara. This is from Talking Giants. John Mara.
It's like a passage. It's like a passage of talking
about his brother and his nephew. I believe Tim McDonald, and he contradicts himself in the process. So Alex, technology
let's do some
master,
watching.
Get the video on that here, or the clip as well for everyone listening.
Let's do some watching
and listening.
True.
Fired a lot of people over the last couple of years. What do you say to the fact that your brother is still senior vice president of player personnel, your nephew is co-director of player personnel, and there's a perception that there isn't really accountability from family members who have had problems during this stretch?
Well, that perception has been created by you and others, and the reality is that in terms of my brother spends most of his time doing evaluation of college players. His grades go into our system, and he participates in the draft. All personnel decisions in this building, and this has always been the case, have been made by the general manager and the head coach. When they agree on a personnel decision, they come to me with it, and as long as they're both in agreement, I okay it. The only times I would possibly not do that is if there was an off-the-field conduct issue. So Chris is a very skilled evaluator, but he does not have any authority here other than the fact that I will go to him on occasion and ask him about players. Tim is probably the most respected guy we have in this building. Coaches, front office staff, the general manager go to him, ask his advice on players because he is a good evaluator. He's worked his way up from the bottom and he's earned his stripes. He does not have any authority here. The personnel decisions have always been made and will always be made by the general manager and the head coach. If they agree on a draft pick, on a UFA, then I'm going to okay it 99.99% of the time. The only time I will raise an issue about it is if there is a conduct issue. I'll question them about it. I'll make them defend their positions, and I'll make sure that they're on the same page. But at the end of the day, if they're in agreement, then that's the decision we're going with.
Hey, John. If I could just follow up on your answer before about Chris and Tim and everyone, and also then ask you, how you guys came up with a list of GM candidates. But I'm curious, do you think that them being part of ownership doesn't hold maybe more sway than if it was somebody else?
More sway in terms of what?
In regards to, when they make a recommendation on a player, I know it just goes into the system like everyone else, but they're not anybody else. They're actually part of ownership.
I do not think it holds any more sway. That has not been my experience here. I listen to them, but there are many voices in this building, but the only two voices at the end of the day that matter are the head coach and the general manager. They make the final determination. They listen to them because they recognize their evaluation skills, but there are other people in the building who have evaluation skills as well and who have voices as well, but they do not have undue influence on the final decisions that are made here. They absolutely do not.
So, Alex, I'm sure you understand how he contradicts himself a little bit there.
Yep, and also Chris Mara was involved in the GM search, so
They don't have any.
you know.
Well, that's.
No power, though. He doesn't do anything, but he does interview the GM candidates. So,
Well, also,
which one is it?
The GM and the head coach, though, they make the final decision, but they're very respected. So they listen to McDonald and Mara, okay? So don't get that mixed up, okay? Chris Mara, he gets listened to. He's not involved in the final decision, but he does get listened to. But they have no authority. But he does get listened to. So it's like, pick one, bud. I mean, I get what he's trying to say, right? Yes, I mean, they're part of an NFL staff. Or they're part of the New York Giants staff. So, yeah, they should get listened to. But it's just going from saying that they don't have any authority to saying, yeah, they get listened to by me, they get listened to by the GM, they get listened to by the head coach because they're respected. Yeah, like you were saying, Alex, pick one, buddy. I mean, really, that's the big thing here.
Also, it is a bit worrying that John Mara is going to talk to the coaches, to the GMs about possible players. Why the hell is he involved in any of that? He needs to focus on owning the team, and that's just making sure that we're not losing money or something else. He doesn't. There's no reason he should be involved in any personnel. That also was something that he said there. That I was like, that doesn't make anything any better. You shouldn't be arguing with the coaches and the GMs about their positions on the players. Right. You don't know anything. You are John Mara. You are the owner of the team. You are not a scout. You are not an evaluator.